as well. But the people, let's listen to the people and we talk something that is suitable, something that's interesting to us. Don't hide anything. Say it. Something that's doubting you and you are speaking every day over the air. Radio 1, Radio 2, West Zone, and all kind of rest. Talk. Talk. And make it clean. Make it polite and do it democratically so that the people be able to understand what you are saying. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for bringing this.
Hola, abo ke paso be ba pia. Oke gomla nyi be boja se gomla do. Ke nyi be ko nyini ani awon be ase jedo e. Aje dia be pajire dia nko. Bojire nsu bia ko. Dia aje dia be akesen wa je be wa ke da je. Mo be ne da die gonte be na gomla sa dero nyu ani e. Ji se da nge de die. Babure mo wa nge de die. Ji da se nge de die. Amen, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. So we have reached a crucial portion of this program, and that has to do with the panel discussion. I'd like to give you the protocol for this session. We will have first the Honorable Speaker of the National Legislature, Honorable Richard Nambwe-Kun. He will make his presentation and he will be followed by Honorable Nyomli Kanga Lawrence, the President pro tempore of the Liberian Senate, following which they will engage with you for the questions and answers. And some of the key issues that we intend to address this afternoon has to do with legislative oversight of concessions and natural resource management, constituency development funds, impact, accountability, and community priorities, bridging the gap between the executive and the legislature. And we'll also talk about youth, women, and the various marginalized groups. So at this time, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased and honored to introduce to you the Honorable Speaker of the 55th Legislature of the Republic of Liberia, Richard Nambwe-Kun, for his presentation.
I guess speaker of people.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Richie Nambwe-Kun, is now the first speaker. So let's join him right now.
Our President Pro Tem, Reverend Senate, fellow senators, my colleagues from the House of Representatives, superintendent majors, our chiefs, our elder, the student population, and the press. I bring you warm greetings from the House of Representatives, and we shall provide a summary report on some of the major legislative action undertaken by the House of Representatives. I'll be highlighting those during the first quarter of the third section of the 55th Legislature. Let me begin by saying that the House remains committed to passing laws that improve the lives of Liberians, strengthen our economy, create opportunities for our youth, and ensure the development reaches every county, including Grand Bassa County and all Leeward counties.
Amwaga mboche mwabebe aze ke ase mwapo akede ji wurapu ke banyo jwa fe mo zanjeji oke anyo mo bi ode cheche oke anyo so abe ji kuku oke aburo mo zanzan o da bira gana bi be gbezon o ma da bira bro do e debi na wede aka pe nyipon oje anjara mbo e.
So, if it comes to bills that we've legislated, there are too many. And looking at the forum here today, we also respect time. If we decide to discuss all of the bills and things that we legislate, then we now leave from here today.
Yeah.
So I just beg your indulgence to highlight six major bills during the first quarter of the third section of the 55th legislature.
Mwabebe apoe ke kwenwuri ndebe aka nmo kunye de ke ofoji ke ka na be senja mo bebe da gro da dodo e aje senchen ni amuda de o munyu oje amope nyipon amwemwe o ke opasoni ke aje koku opatani de bebe awuri maboko nye omle no amwemgo chembe opade mi o ke.
So in the house, in fact the both houses work through committees. And why it is structured this way is that because there are so many of us in there with diverse professions. So you see doctors, engineers, and agriculturists, and so many different professions. So it is organized in a committee way in that the people that experience a particular sector we discuss the issue, advise us who are not knowledgeable. For example, for me, I'm an accountant, a professional financier. So I like to partake in issues relating to my strength. Things that I don't know, I will make contribution, but I will not make sufficient contribution as compared to the man that understands as well.
All right. So aje kwa nyunyu ni de bo mu e ka anyu ga ni wa ni wura mu wa nyu kwa de po mu wa de poroji ogwenka wa je ni ani ku gyan je chen yo ni nyu e momo daja be e wa mo papo ke wa nyu wa ni kwa ni wa ji wa wura wuri de wa bo de wa mo ko.
Okay. So the first thing we as Liberians will aim for is our envelope size. When I talk about envelope in terms of the money, the intake, our revenue. Because to solve all of the numerous problems, you have to have enough money available. And if the money is not available, we always have shortcomings in meeting the expectations of those expenditures that we're supposed to execute. Because those expenditures, at the end of the day, will brighten and improve the lives of our young people and our citizens. Road infrastructure, hospitals, schools, all of the various expenditures, we have to look at an envelope that will bring in good resources. So the first bill that I want to talk about has to do with the tax reform and revenue modernization. The tax reform and revenue modernization, the House passed the legislation establishing a new legal framework for tax incentive and expenditure management and amending portions of the Liberian tax administrative law. Why is this bill important? It creates clear rules and guidance for investors. It helps the government collect taxes more efficiently. It reduces waste and improves accountability. It encourages businesses to invest and create jobs. How does it impact the people of Grand Bassa County? Impact the people of Grand Bassa County and Leeward counties. Grand Bassa is the home of major industries businesses, and one of Liberia's most important ports is being harbored in this county. These reforms can attract additional investment, support business expansion, and increase employment opportunities for its residents.
A cherry or the woman. The say and I mean, you know, more. I'm a woody. Are you woody bloody? The new here. A poor cotaque, a de say a money, or dear. The king and woman. Gomla or say one year of 1 year old. Bob, I don't touch here. Car, monue, a poor queen. The bill of the one you a poor queen. Jagger at the band. Zada Hobby or Para, you know what I may. Dabi akese pa de beso na ke obre daru ke debe paboji debe na we apo hwekuri ni be wuri ayi jini oke ade boji nomoji be oke ade bukpa ke omo ane bukpa se pode ana pampo be oke yini moji.
Thank you, thank you. The second one I'd like to address, the approval of the amended ArcelorMittal Mineral Development Agreement. One of the most significant actions of the House was the passage of the amendment number 3 to the ArcelorMittal Mineral Development Agreement. Why is this important? It paved the way for additional investment worth hundreds of millions of dollars. It supports expansion of mining operations. It creates jobs for Liberians. It improves railroad and port infrastructure. Impact on Grand Bassa County, especially Grand Bassa County. Grand Bassa County is perhaps the greatest beneficiary of this agreement because the railroad terminal in Buchanan and the port of Buchanan serve as a major export hubs. Increased economic activities in Buchanan, more business opportunities for local contractors, additional employment opportunities, increased demand for housing, transportation, and local services, greater port utilization, and economic growth.
Osoni be adi boemo. So blunyo be ablia blora gamu. Be wana de nima kante be ara asino metage. Tibe wa difri aga jimanyo juage awembo be wakwa ku ajuapa de ko je awembo onywake ama ake agabio waje kwa onywake akwiwa no moji anepa pro be zizi ko ba na kunye onywake onomoji jejeke beson be a chiala ke apoja ka beson je kpra vren kun mi oke debe na wade amoja je tibe wa difri ajimane jua ara nye wa be ne jua moy be akewa deni be agde ke wa jane de wada owo sa ge no we aso Jesus eh.
The third one has to do with agriculture. You know, when you can feed yourself, it's a possibility you can sustain a lot of activities that will not force you to go corrupt, especially succumbing your country to other international and big countries that want to make you do things otherwise. So we now go into the other bill that we passed. It's the Agricultural Enterprise Development Bank of Liberia. The House passed a legislation creating an Agricultural Enterprise Development Bank. Most of you who want to be farmers, this bank will help you also put in the necessary resources for you to take a loan or a grant to be able to establish your own farm and be able to feed your family and help you otherwise.
Onyobe ochiake otani agamo de ba dileje ye tibe wa mo emage de king wa popa mo wrinji dembo be okon ni oda ka de guru mo e bora we wuri ba de niye mo mo agre nyunyo cheke gre nyunyo obe mbo pa be nge gre nyu be ni so ke mo san be mo anyuwe nge do pre gomra mo bodon ne ngeni jube be bona ban jo bro ka mo no we de na we ke ode e de wa guri ma kon.
The fourth one has to do with the improvement of certain sectors that will alleviate some of the hardships that we endure. Southeastern Corridor Road Access Management Project financing. That was also passed by the House. The House ratified additional financing for the Southeastern Corridor Road Project. Why is this important? It improves road connectivity. If you know our president's agenda from day one to the final is roll, 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 and roll. It reduces transportation costs to take your market from the farm to the marketplaces. You find out that these things will reduce the cost. Support trade and commerce between counties. Enhance access to healthcare and education. That's the essence. When these roads are constructed or rehabilitated, it reduces enough of the hardship that we endure today. That's the essence, and we thought this thing was very important to the Labrimpo. This project directly affects Grand Bassa, Rivercess, Sino, Grand Cru, Maryland, and by improving transportation links, it reduces the cost of transportation between many communities, especially in the Southeast where roads are so deplorable.
Ni opwenga sana bo beso mute ni rewase so ende musano nchemba bo mo granjire ncheno le ni nsindo fabeji dabebe ko je wa chia amo gese ni o we ba mo ake okio pa sei ke okpa de ko je okpa de onyu ke magadi mage ake bo ase okio ba so emude onyu ke ka bi se jibo amo okio na yime ni ka bi se jibo onyu ke ndade ke na ni je nyo ke ba de buya de wenge mo so kro mu de na wa je wa nye okieche ko be okieche ke yin mo.
Thank you. We are still talking about self-sustainable. So in sustaining our own self and human beings to our people, we look at another bill that we thought was very essential, the expansion of the mandate of LACRA. The House passed legislation expanding the responsibilities of the Liberia Agriculture Commodity Regulatory Authority. Why is this important? It improves regulation of agriculture commodities, encourages private sector investment, create better market opportunity for farmers, support export growth.
Onyobe ochi abodi amo abokuru vero kange mion benye wapode ake kpobe be wa genyu benge mion ben nye wa nyona ke kpobe na ke kwa be wa mu nyone nyamo wa mu nyobe be wa mo benyu be ke wa bo pa ni de wa bo pa mo omo anyu be de sin obe anyu nge mion ben benge mion ni wrible benge mion ni nga anyu de ba ke tigoni wa wuri manyu akwen nike.
So of the 38 bills that I brought, I'm only highlighting 6. So number 6.
Wazi mwanage okpranyo para bu ise mlenta ke owuri mleno nyina ekun owuri mleno nyina ekun se bade mleno be owuri ankunye omode be ogoje adi ayite ye de pa hwebo e de yumo ya adi age de be age de owuri ankunye.
So finally on the 6th bill, not the least, we were able to enact and legislate the Banking and Financial Institutions Reform Act. The House passed major reform affecting banks and financial institutions. Why was this important to us? Strengthening Liberian banking sector to protect depositors. You people are farmers and will be farmers at the end of the day to repay. When you deposit your money, you have to have it protected. It encourages lending and investment, get you more money. Improve financial stability. It makes you always constant when it comes to financial issues. Impact on the citizen, businesses, entrepreneurs, farmers, ordinary Liberians will benefit from a stronger and more reliable banking institution.
Hey. Amleno ni angamo wa wuri onkwen kabe wuri dede mo wuri de mbobi ake oke ji kuanyu be oke ngbopa jeje ke oke nji mo made wuri de nyoke be nje wuri de ke na ne wuri obo amoyi ni be sesen ke ze bri ni kani be ngeje ke ko anyi de pa ke ode papa mo ti mpore ke ni mo je nde ti kon kenye mo na aji mo we mara ke mo nyu be wa mo ke wa mi ni bo be ji mo ka be nyu be wa dia na wuri na ke je ti se ngba re wa ke bo enji be wa ke je ke wa mo bo kwa je nde ke so nde gomla kwa oje wa mo na ke wa po wa pe mu ke po bi la we be ke kwa anyu.
In conclusion,
ogo jira mo e
in the first quarter of the 2026, the House of Representatives focused on laws designed to create jobs, attract investment, improve roads, support farmers, strengthening healthcare, expand education, protect workers, improve governance. Many of these measures will have a direct impact on the people of Grand Bassa County and on Leeward County through increased economic activities, infrastructure, development, agricultural support, better financial services, and expanded opportunities for young people. The House remains committed to ensuring that national development reaches every county and every community. I thank you.
onye kwe bobe awuri ankonya mo opo ekpo kera de na ke de wa wuri nkon ka na okiege yi anyu be o ke yilmo yibi ake suku mu anyu market ya ke de ke mu enmo de ro ke party ni de same ya ke wa wuri nkon ke mo ane nkokon de wa mo ke yi ni mo be mo ke yi ni mo aso enji se.
Can we give Honorable Kun another round of applause?
Bla kwa vlen.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Well, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, without wasting much time, I'm honored to welcome your own daughter, the Honorable Nyobli Kanga Lawrence, President pro tempore of the Liberian Senate, who will make her presentation.
On the Nyobli Kanga, Bemo Gogo Dabia, Bemo Ko Wamage, on the Yen Krubo.
Thank you. You may have your seats.
Biadia.
Honorable Speaker, my distinguished colleagues on the high table and members of the high table, ministers of government, our chiefs and elders, market women, youth, teachers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our citizens, and members of the Fourth Estate. I would like to thank the Speaker for that great presentation that talked more about the bills, but on the Senate side, we will focus more on oversight.
Omoke, I say yake, Debio, Ababio, Debi, Sukuju, is ya de one nayo. I say, Bia, okay, I must say, Yadi, Jesus, Nayo, or the Boya Moke by us, Wopo, the baby or Chiam, my baby, Wapoe, Oji, care the money, Queen, and Yanyamo. Maybe I'm not buying a quite better than you are going to point more in the money change.
When I became the president pro tempore of the Liberian Senate, the Senate decided to put an agenda together that will bring development to the people. And what we did was to come right here to Grand Bassa County at a retreat where that agenda was put in place.
Tibe ndukwaje bange mbato bi onanye apokwanyi peparo pan ke pepa na wade pan hwemo kadi ana akwanyi nya ke bro na ke mo zanye ke di na pepa na wekmo asen agima no gbera ke so ke abre na hwodo.
We all know that our role as lawmakers is to make law representation and the oversight, which is to watch, check, and hold the executive accountable.
Besenga ijowe ani nkwabia na nyoye mo akebe kebla ake mapo akere mo deni ade se ise ni nyonyu abe osa ise nye ake nyo ba mi ombo ejiri daga nambo amuhani nkwage.
So the focus of our agenda was decentralization. All counties must benefit from government plans and spending.
So tiana die ani ngripa be ablema ke mo be kwasen be gomna na nwenye be oke won be oke nse dubodo ke deni adagbesan pa won ke san no pa ni deni alofa pa won bla ke ni ma pa ni dena we de awuri nkon ni nyoro mo ni kona bo mu mo ble nyo sengero di.
We want to see transformation and that business as usual.
Debi awuri ma konye mo ake pasa pueje nyo be ba mo mi konsle nyi ba awuri deje yi probably won ti ase isenga the same yakaka ba jiza se para ji wuri oble ka yi ani ti koyin ni de se amo omoni debi amo debi de awuri ma koyin.
All counties and cities must benefit from the government budget. In the past, no county has specific line in the government budget. Cities did not have specific lines in the government budget. The Senate advocated and made provision for counties. Today, counties and cities have money in the government budget for operations.
Tia ye wuri bebe aje ma ka ke amama banwin ko ke aje ma se pade de wuri chele o mo be wa da budget mo e o se ma de che ke ti amona aje ase na ma da gbesan je apoepa ara di ba crofle sei okay a che pa se mo kante ke sete bi oge wa be ble be de be wuri wa ka je o ke de che ke ana we nka won wuri be gbesan ke je o che de onyo be mo nge je o che de bla kwa nyo na wa je.
We have been advocating for our chiefs and local government to benefit even more. So in our last supplementary budget, we advocated and made provision 500,000 for salary for our chiefs.
Hey! Unse chenge ke chief ani kwa bla wo de won. Tibe manana yipo yen de ko je wa chema ka mo. Ababe na gaje wala wana nyo hwi pon hwre mi o wala ninyi na hwre wa be ji adedo oje wuri do gwen dende be ozima kaji be na kwa mu nwen kan be wala mbo je so ke di amu e wa pore 1000 na ke 100 mde ni be njema ba bwa ka wenwo ka ji ni jurade ni dero nwen ye nyo ni babo na wa bo mo ma ka ke be na dero je nje yo.
And more support to local government, which I will highlight later. But we also made sure that money was placed in the budget for volunteer teachers, volunteer health workers.
Hey, I'm more than for change. Boy, I can't be care. Or you can moja. Wapoma de wuri de paper mu. But I'm budget gamu. Bon you be to wami on. I can do that way. Without volunteer teacher. Nyotu ami onwe nyotu ami on be akakwu ihunyu ge wapoma de wuri bo wabi.
Referral hospital and county health teams have benefited more from these appropriations.
Jejege apidambo fremfreme be abre ke kumbo be abre wasei waje dogwen dinde okay wuri na ga waje akpla kun deke.
So I would like to highlight some of the improvement in the budget. You know, the budget comes from the executive to the legislature. We make appropriations, so we decide what comes in the budget for health, for education, security, good governance, and all that. When that is done, our role now is oversight to make sure that the money is managed properly. So in the budget, comparing to 2023 on education, there were $95 million in the budget.
Hey,
On education,
what in Kwan Wakanue? The Madame Boete come on, we didn't get Kwam Union, Wama Yasa Union. Also, and the President Bogoto Wabo, now Wamon Bote, Ni Wamon Moemi, Wanyogamura, Yogamura, Yogamura, ni what to paper the President Bode, Niwania de Mo. On your Baba Numaka, that man Bo, Bear, Ablia, Bocare, or Jere Ripo Flerude.
in 2024, this government increased the education budget from 95 million to 111 million.
So there's the idea. Million, Hondo, Naga, or Brian, Nebrabu, Semre, I swear, Bobo, Kaji, Hondo, Naga, or 100 Yaro, okay, or Quaranta, or Quabibo. Dami, Riana Jimu. Is it Quablani?
In 2025, the education budget was still higher than 2023, 105 million.
Hey, they went out one more. One more, Yadia Magia, Kedavanyo, what's your sabode, Kawakbaji, separated the quagga, or more. Then what you want to run when you, the Quapabe on it, Bongamogia, or Giovanna when you're in Crabway.
In 2026, which is this year, the budget went higher. The education budget now is 143 million.
Kazon is Yanya Kavani, we are Jipa, Kazon is Yanya Kavani, we are Jipa, one of Opore Kalade, Kaviana de Gini, and just to go you for, and you actually want what Jakawaji Musiani, and we are not evil.
So, in our line, we expect the education ministry to do renovation of schools, to make sure all public schools have chairs, sitting capacity for the students, and we have an Excel program that's supposed to build 100 elementary schools in districts.
But then I watch and you want, Mabe on your Chida Chamber, you are one another is you, on an old dear Puano, Sukuboniaga, a black 100 Yaro, okay, Cravapo, we may watch in Yachene, we may know what so, or more in Kuama, Maponuaga, I can't be a Poniaga Jamo.
So even because of that, I had a meeting with the education minister and I said the Gobley Senior High School must benefit from the renovation. They have agreed to do the expansion of the Gobley Senior High School in Compound 3.
Okay, that's him, Mark and Wema, Kerano, Rubenaga Kumwe, the couple Weebly, Sukubo Flanaria, Amaka Dinayo, Kenio Wembo, Kerabonyo.
So WIRE for our WIRE students, 12th grade, 9th grade was free, but when this government took over, there were arrears, plenty debt for WIRE. The money we put in the budget, it cleared all the WIRE debt.
Hey, Davona Gabomong Eduto. Ajuana Sukua Mute, ni Wabledaro. Kewapo Wasonji, Nina Zioni, Wake, or Sorry Sukubo, Magani, Nubejara Pay, one in Tia, Omoma Pavre, Kegonaga Yang Paji. So the one you Kinyamo, Wapore Ripo Florode, kept passing man, I guess about Dabirado, I can blow to a point, Kewa Pepa, when you Kawe, Dabirado, Naina, they are you same again, Wakam, Sokuni Popo, same Momo, Bibla.
So, WIRE Jenjamwe on our health budget compared to 2023. 2023, the health budget was 75 million. In 2024, the budget went up to 80 million under this government.
Socialist Soreje, Akumbo Frega, we want him Aqua, Monuye. Mama, Hondo, Nage, O'Brien, Wabui, Care, Swamos, Ziajabo, waporo de ke wania hondo na ke brayo nye okwa monyu enka be wada
So,
1000 ye
so million or hundred.
hondo million ga ne mbo kudu muri wa hondo.
In 2025, it went up to 82 million, and now 2026 is as high as 112 million for the health budget.
Okay, people are confusing between the million and the hondo.
Yeah, well, pass over more.
So hondo ga de mo wa ma million ga c'est pas de appelé de baso rumu oje kare wuri be wa de kun amunyu enka wen wuri ara ji mu de ka suku wuri mu aji ye ka ohun bo de wuri na ji mu de ke wa de hondo na ga 100 son o se son de wa na kun amunyu enka.
So, because we increased the health budget, you see a lot of work going on in the health sector. If you go right here in Grand Bassa County, you go to Senior, you see that the little clinic that was there is now a health center. We put money in the budget, and our clinic has been elevated to a health center with operation room, and doctor will be there.
Hey, Debbie na chenya mo ba mo no batu hira wa pa ba nge ki ba mo ablema pide mo yutin welo bo da mo senya kare na ke yinde di npe mu arabe anyu e be de ke yibo akare mo ni ye ma mo fone wana ajibo ke wa ma de ku hyo to be ke ku asemba fe ye o kare nyu ni.
Right here to Gobli Hospital, we had a surgical outreach, and the citizens made demand for doctor and fencing. We called the health ministry, a doctor was assigned there, and the county is now working to fence that facility. That's part of what we did in the budget.
They are mon you there, Cabela, yes, but I'm on Sonogia, they Gobli, Ablema, Yabekani Manyobe, Boku Anue, and Gigi call you blame you for Yamle, there's a moblenya, but I come out on you, who we are from Frabe, what are them was a pay player, come on Yobe, no, I'm a wet that Janoke, one of them, Keda Ganaga, one of Kumupo, Ken Yadekani, Yedena Kumbo. Also, thank you.
Also, in the health budget, SIA is benefiting from the increment. There's money in the budget for SIA in district number 4, and the minister is processing that money for the county health team to expand SIA also to a health center. So that's the benefit that Bassa is getting from the health budget.
Now, we reaching a bit about that Birabi and your best on year. There must see Yaka on Ande or Butcher, Bear among your Muroji, Quem Moyoka, K or a Britain, K. See Yaka, one daughter, Yaquablane, see an Annie, young will.
Also, there are some private referral hospitals in the country, like ERWA Hospital that have been here a long time. Many people have gone to ERWA Hospital. ERWA Hospital was having many challenges, and they were about to shut down. So the government, some of the money we put in the budget, that to take on the payroll for ERWA Hospital, so ERWA Hospital couldn't close down.
Onion Frabe, the Jaggy Bamba Maka Green there, Bema, ERWA, only to the boy, what Blamaji Buddha crew, Bo, the Bakabaga. Can you walk? Was it the Wakaji? Carana, when you be bent like a moe, Gomrana, yet the way Gana, you do, Panam, young people, can you send here, Gomrama and Wapamoka.
So with it, government then just take over the payroll, but government will make available $1 million to continue the operations of ERWA Hospital.
So that Gomrani and you and more. Million again, 100. On your about 2 way, you want to call you cool. You never hear the air, on the con you pa, Gomrana and you.
So our security budget grew 2023 from 101 million, 2024 108 million, 2025 112 million, 2026 167 million. The increment is 65.6 million increment.
Anagwenye abamba pia kemi ake granda bonna yobio. Okay, tie konko yobio ake be ada security e. Wani wuri wa ke kwa monwinye. Aje maji kan ebri azade ete. Kede blenji ka denye oji mumu oke ode nkon de kra yon tamu. Dalo ke kon de kra yon tan, yo se kwa bla le. Ke se kwa bla maji.
You might be wondering why, but before this government took over, sometimes it was very difficult to even get in the street after 8 o'clock in Monrovia. I remember on the old road, young children, as young as 12 years old, 14 years old, were in the street. They took over the entire old road and people ran away from them because we didn't have security in these communities. This time, you see the difference. And it comes from the appropriation that we make in the Senate. You see security got patrol cars. You see what police is doing. And you see the improvement in our security sector is because we, the legislature, make the decision to make the appropriation that's needed for that.
Anyo be wana yi monwe wani ade wuje ke wa ku de yije ti sembe an sia de dubo ti sembe an de momo ye mbe ne mo de dubo omo wani npe wa mo senator bi o de wa mo nwe ye onuwe wani nkwa no we.
Just before this government took over, there was a big protest strike from the army to the point where the government had to cancel Armed Forces Day because they were complaining about the barracks, poor housing facilities, the well-being was not taken care of. So in their budget, they have $3.5 million to take care of the barracks. So if you go in the barracks, you see renovation, you see new bathrooms, you see new housing facilities, all come from the appropriation that the legislature made in the budget.
Abu komi again. Abu komi okwebi akaji enwo mani oni kwani ni wala huyajisi wala ase penambre ase darubre abonse yipen e president se siamo ni nyobe aga du wugi kana ji gele won mabo oji e wa mo senator wa mo e ke wa pore wuri povrero wa be bo se me be ake be achichi se be suku se ni anoke be ni mo nkwa se pa de be mo ble be ke fer mo yin chineke de ja agri ye no we.
In addition, we made $1 million available for patrol vehicle for the army and close to $4 million for training. We want to build the capacity of the army. You got to have the size of army we need to protect our country. So I'm sure most of the young people saw on Facebook the training that's going on. The AFL is recruiting. That was not happening, so we had a huge gap. The government is trying to close this gap, so the legislature made that money available, and that's why you see the training that is going on now with the AFL happening.
Be wake nyom mobe wake waja se bare de gomna mo ka nyomo o ke anyu be abuko nke be wake yifu wase yifu amopu ke de bana nwenye be wake yijo uri be na yimonwe ka anyu ka de be kwa bobo.
The legislature also made money available in this security budget to renovate the police academy. That's why you see the police training going on. That money was appropriated by the legislature.
Aso buko mi abwe aji bamba pia kemi amombo bamba pia kemi amonwe debe wa monia be adane pori akeleme de wa moni ke wa moni de kwanwe de wa moni ke wa moni kwanwe apore wuri de ke oje nje won ke wa jini wani nyobe de twen be wa mon ke pori si jure ke oni wuri onyu anyi wa monwe de wa na abokon ka bro wuri anyu ka kwa bo ba ke de gomra na nyu yen de anara kun sa yen o.
That money increased for the LDA. We all were crying for drugs. Even though it's not minimized, but we see how well this government is doing to fight the drugs, and is slowly getting better. If you listen 2 days ago, you heard about the arrest at RIA. All of those operations and the way it's being minimized now is because of the increment that we did in this budget.
Nyewe bon be wa ma tan fene kri payon be wa kun ate wuri be apore wa mo mu ase bo chini akeni tan fene nanage ora yisio ke oni bri mu ke ma fene tonima ntomadu de jon do wo pa ye wa pomade oko wero ke nyewe be wa ja ke wa ni wa mo so de npa be ake ba ge hwe wuri be aporo ke omo yan nuwe ke de sen oni abri mu yen akun aro no we.
So local government and social development. If you go in most of the counties, you will see a lot of development going on, infrastructure development, transportation available for our local government, people, superintendents, assistant superintendents, they are supported. All of these projects you see with education, healthcare, administrative building, superintendent compound, all come from the Social Development Fund and local government. In 2023, we had $20 million. When this government took over 2024, 26 million, then they came to 18 in 2025, 2026, we have 27 million. Social development. And local government. Nyobi ogede ke wa mu ampo ekwan ni nyunyu njira bo gbeso ni montana ke asunde ne tana na ke njeke de ni pound ni ke nji agomra bo bi ozomu yi de ni pound ni apo million ni ake o seji gbembe be wa ka kun abopo di ani kun abi abde ake nyu mo wa ja kun abopo ni agire ko ni se fa de be na ke omo nyobi obi de wuri omo ni we komna se kun ami ni o de ana bo chen. Also, under the Senate robust oversight, we were able to evaluate the pricing of petroleum products and made some strong recommendations to the president, and the decision was made, and we saved some money and were able to support the yellow machine that the counties will benefit from today. Our budget supported that by over $4 million.
One borote, come on, one bon. They are quamoe, million again. Oh, me at to there. You don't want to watch won't take our money, but you give you name Pabeja. Yaji Benny, Yamo 100 so, but I near Wabui, or the year, Catanaga, they were France and Yako, Mwaji, get you more quick money to Abli, Quabiani, you and Brother going away. Neither can't say Bezo, a community name Pabi, Lofa community, never never give a community, Biagaje, you need a program.
So I can't speak to all the concessions, but I will speak briefly to a Salamita agreement. What did we do from the Senate to do the Salamita agreement differently? We made some prior recommendations from the Senate when they came before all. These were the actions that we took. We put in a termination clause in the agreement that was not there. So if AML does not perform, the government can take action. Also, the ArcelorMittal, before the license fee was only $50,000. We made them to increase it to $500,000. We're talking about US dollars. We put in a renewal clause for the future because the provision before us suggested automatic renewal. So renewal in the future will have to still come for ratification. And we made ArcelorMittal and the IMCC to make a commitment through communication for our social development projects for Nima, Bon, and Basel. In that concession agreement, we did not have the on your own road now that is approved in that agreement to be paved. So the Senate made ArcelorMittal to put in $3 million to pave the on your own road leading towards the hospital to connect with the with ArcelorMittal road. And also to make sure the road that goes to Bakoni is pliable. Those were some of the additional that we put in the agreement, and NIMA bond, we put some additional there. So the agreement is not what it was before, it's much, much, much improved. And just Thursday, the Senate put on the floor that all the ministries that have oversight over ArcelorMittal should be at the Senate on next week, Thursday, to tell us why this agreement for the social development has not been concluded. So that's the oversight role we're playing with AML.
Onye beba asobru nye be je tinye be na de wa mambotu ekun abe wa anyu ade re akebra nye wa brebe se de wa mo ho boni wa do de wa mambo wa nyo ba amonwe mo de wa pokuru bo vero mu ama konkore na ti wa na ba mambotu wa anye de amonyu we mo amo tipo ti aji sike de wa ka nyo ba se anyu ni gomna ko ba so ende. Okay, I never wa bla wa kanyo mo ampo no de so ni maji bon ya gbeso ke be ga ti goni wa nebri popo ni ma ga ma wuri tinwero ke ka won wara wuri ga be moji because de anyu ga ne bro moji yen assemble be ro ke ka won aji mu o je paper wana pampo ka won ono moji mi o cha ga si nyo ni ma ga kin yen ji.
So let me close and talk a little bit about what we've done for job creation. If you see, for the past few months, there have been arguments all over the country about the Port Authority and the Port Autonomy bills, right? That bill went back and forth, until we did a final version. The Senate passed it. I want to say thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speaker. Want to say thank you for the passage of the Port Authority and the Port Autonomy Bill in the House of Representatives last week.
Hey, on your bill, Chiagamo, Adebe, maybe a paradia. On your machine, I mean, go up, I mean, I have near plus your weather, and I get punch, but I go on your new quanu, or see no day, or wouldn't no day, or see no day, or wouldn't no day. On a musin, one way, my dear, Cardenye, what two Amada, you have on with there, and in representative of our Senator, David Chagamoja, and I'm on way, better get pa, the black Pabonuaje. I'm your important going yet.
I can assure you that this will be the final one. And when that Port Autonomy Bill is signed by the President and the operation starts, Grand Bassa will be a port city. Grand Bassa will be a port city. When this country becomes a port city and we have a commercial port here, we will not worry about job creation for our young people. Even if you market seller, you will make money. So that's what the decentralization is about. Right now, under the government, we also have the agro processing zone right here in district number 5 that is being built. When you go there, you will see it. When that place is finished, they will have industries, warehouses, companies. When you plant cassava, you will make money because you get a place to carry to sell. When you plant rice, you will make money. And they're not stopping there. They are putting the special economic zone that is already almost to be contracted to another company. And that will bring transformation. We have manufacturing going on. We add value to our agricultural produce. We will create jobs for our people. And it's important we have electricity already here. If you saw Buchanan City yesterday, the street lights were on. That not solar light. That NEC light were on last night. So in the next few days, they will start connecting businesses, public buildings, schools, hospitals, clinics, before we get to communities.
So, Lego Jebe Achiate, I'm on your previous Lejamo, Wamo protein yo, Tiekmo Wanakamuyo, Lege, Odara Buedenio, Amo Dasenio, Beasemo Ajeyo, Kuamojinho, Beajuaga Kuanuo, Amen, amen.
So, Grandpastor Kante,
Beson,
I can tell you that this will be a major commercial center. This will be a huge commercial center. So let's keep pushing. Let's work together. Let's support one another. But let me let you know that July 26th, the government will celebrate July 26th in Grand Bassa County. And we have a lot of work to do. And we'll come right back here for the town hall meeting to plan for what we will do to celebrate the best 26th in our county.
Judah Wagani Jayo, Biaga Wabao, but they were Nyakrio. Aha, Baba Downloom. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give the Honorable Pro Tem another round of applause.
Blakwa, 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 Blakwa. Blakwa Niobi.
Mr. DJ, are you there? Please give us something from Grand Bassa County. Mr. DJ.
Mr. DJ. Nia that away.
Today we stay here at the fairground where we have been all the time since this morning.
Okay.
Bringing live broadcasts on the activities surrounding the legislative engagement with the people of Grand Bassa County. Let's go back to the podium.
That they are here for you. They want to engage you in these discussions today. So they will accept at least 50 questions from the audience. 50. You have heard their presentation, and I hope the chiefs, the elders, the youth and students, the women, our marketers, local government officials, I hope they get all their questions ready, because the pro tem and the speaker, they are here to answer all the questions. All you need to do
a protein ke speaker ke wani da bom bobo zen o je wa yin ti be nge de die pa bra yon son bra bu yun ke ni de die die ke o be kwa bo ke be ba de wa zana ko yen ji ni wa mo gonjun bi a be yun be o ke israel.
Okay, so we will now kick the ball to entertain questions,
It's time for
and then
questions.
you got your answers.
All right, it seems that we ought to go
I
back.
just wanted to add, everybody listen to what the people say here, right? And the thing we're talking here today, we're talking about the thing what can happen to the capital building. All the other things are big here. The next time, if you hear the topics, like what thing happen, what I see when I reach a place, what thing happen, the other opposition do this, now here we hear from today. We hear for the two other people talk. We just want you all to pose your questions according to what was discussed here. Thank you.
All right, legislative engagement.
Thank you.
Concerning what is said today.
Raise your hand, recognize, and then you come and ask your question.
Yeah, Minister Va.
All right, it's time
Minister Va.
to listen to
So
questions.
can you can you guys please open the arm?
Across the floor.
Let's start with my brother there. Let's hear your question.
All right,
You,
the microphone will go
just
there.
come up.
He's coming to ask his question, and then he will first call his name, and then ask a question. And so let's get to him. He's up front already.
My name is.
1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute.
All right.
Everybody can understand now. So the thing can be long, leave the interpretation better. When they ask a question clear, the people understand the question. And two, you know, as soon as my minister talk, the speaker and the protein say no. They say the question that on your heart, that one you must ask, yeah?
All right. So that clarification has been made. Time
My
for the
name is
question.
Toga Johnson, and my question has to do with why the protein just said on job creation. The most talk about iron ore tailing in Grand Basso here. Since Senator Finlay and Protein bring each other as being and liar, the president for a kind of a committee so that they can probe into that general situation. Why being the Protein or what we call what they want to say that? Oversight. What we call oversight. Why being oversight as a fourth person, and we are crying for job in the general place that will provide hundreds of jobs. The iron ore tailing. Why being oversight? That's my question.
Thank you.
Iron ore tailing. That question. So another person will come.
Yeah, we'll take the first 5, then they will respond,
Yeah.
and then we take another 5.
So the second question will come.
So,
The second question will come. Let's see who is going to ask that question. But consultation is going on.
okay. So we're going to do it this way. If you have questions, we want the first 10 persons to come up. Come right here.
All right.
We encourage the women, the youth.
The first 10, so we have already one person. So it will be 9 more if they will go
Okay.
about that. So let's hear.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more person to make it 9.
All right, one more
So
person.
we have one person ask. Good. We start with you. Ask your question.
Okay.
All right, so the 9th person has gone there.
Okay, good. Give it a home.
All right, a
Let's hear
female.
your question, my sister.
She will be first.
Amen.
So that the more come now be new opinion. But titi embi apiya. That be can you be dandaro new apokans wo.
Amen.
Okay. Firstly, I would like to applaud the Minister of Information for bringing this program to us. My question have to do with when the Honorable Speaker was speaking, he mentioned that the track serves as one of the key parts of exporting goods. And this track, passes through many communities. And that community are considered as affected community. And the honorable Pro was electing the new agreement that was signed with ArcelorMittal. But she never mentioned anything like benefit for the affected community. And these people have slept there due to the train north. That is my question.
It's concerned about the
So,
affected communities where
my
the
name
train
is
track
Daniel
passes.
KBR III, a permanent citizen of Grand Bassa County from number 3C, Cadwellstown. My question goes to the Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives. In your deliberation, you talk about tax payment. My question to you is, have you people been able to come up with any law that have to do with tax payment that will benefit the citizen when it comes to tax return? Because we pay tax in this country and we have no tax return. So have you people come up with any law that will benefit the citizen when it comes to tax return?
It's concerned about tax return.
Thank
When
you.
pay taxes in other areas,
Let me say, Honorable Speaker,
you get tax return.
and Madam Pro Tem, I want to say thank you for your splendid explanations. But my questions go to the Honorable Speaker on concession. On Tuesday, January 20th, 2026, the TFA amendment of accidental was passed by the House of Representatives and concurrent by the Senate on the 29th of Thursday. My question is, what informed, Mr. Speaker, what informed your decision as Honorable House of Representatives to pass a TFA amendment of accidental with all consultation, but at 8 p.m. with full lights, without coming back to your people? What was the urgency of passing the TFA amendment of the accidental at midnight with all the input of your citizens? I want to know.
He's concerned about the passage. He calls it overnight passage.
Okay.
He was
Well done. Standing before you, my name is Victor Tigonjo, the regional coordinator for the Motorcycle Union in Grand Bassa County. My question goes to our legislative caucus here in Grand Bassa County, those who voted for, who stood in the ring for. What are some mechanisms you people putting in place for those motorcycles who immensely contributing to the economic growth or development of this country, that tomorrow will be able to say, yeah, those people that will stood in the ring for, this is what they are done for us, this is what they will be able to do for us. Thank you very much. I leave your show to add in the budget, which is the motorcycle you to be able to amend our understand. Thank you very much.
All right, the motorcycle is union.
Okay, thank you very much, my name is Bob G.
their
Smith,
benefit.
and I salute the high table, and I'm a very beautiful lady of our county, Madam Nyobdi Kanga. My question is from to the issue of accident matter also, as Master Reddick said. Accident matter deal, we don't know what is stranded in that deal. That document has been passed for another 2050. We want to know what is in that deal because we are suffering. And the next one, Honorable Cone, the speaker just talked about bill. I believe that bill is not a law. Says bill will explain. When will it become law? Because they have not been discussed. Because the plenary, when will it discuss law to us? And lastly, we got $3 million, $600, $6 million within the budget for the Capitol building. Say it got burned. I got the 5 sheets. And we got $250,000, $2,500,000 for Buchanan City. Our madam, I still be corrected. What they said they will not mention, $2,500,000 for the city. Thank you.
Here is other issues. And so the President pro tempore and the Speaker will address that later.
I'm Prince P. Dees Jr. I am the president of all of the Grand Bassa University students who are in Liberia and all of Liberia. And firstly, let me call the most famous name I love to call the protein, Mama Nyombli Nazambo Winnie Mentigilizela Medela Kanga Lawrence. Let me say thanks for the work being done. I was actually about to give you a hard time as it relates to the act because my institution also endorsed that identical at this Labrador Sea and Inland Port, because once it is being passed, it will give Grand Bassa County a beautiful face as it relates to job creation. But I got 2 questions for Honorable Kuhn, famously called Speaker Bo, and that of Honorable Minister, Information Minister, Mr. Pia. Let me begin with you, Mr. Pia. I want to know, and I guess people here seated and people in Radio Land also want to know, the issue that is between Liberia and Guinea, where is it currently? Is it being resolved, or is the government at the result of resolving it? That's one. And then my question to the speaker: we witnessed the 50-year deal that was passed and signed by ArcelorMittal, between ArcelorMittal and the government. We know 50 years is half a century. Me, from a student background, I want to know, in that Adenuga deal, is there a clause enshrined in that Adenuga deal that has to do with ArcelorMittal building TVET schools? That's one. Two, TVET school, vocational school. Two, is there a clause enshrined into that Adenuga deal that has to do with ArcelorMittal bringing industries and factories so that all of our raw materials that they are exporting, they can also be able to make a finished goods here? Because as a student, we understand that whenever you continue to transport resources, at a certain level in time, the resources will finish, and the country will a big crumble economically. Thank you.
Thank you.
So quickly, I have two questions in one, and my name is Francis Nathan Buyeyu. My first question having to do with, we have a company in Grand Bassa County. This my question is addressed to the Legislative Caucus of Grand Bassa. We have the Liberian Agricultural Company. Since then, if I can be corrected, their agreement has not been ratified. I want to know when will that agreement be ratified? Like company. Two, Meta as a company, during our days, our forefather days, Lanco up to Linko, we have never seen a company hire a security firm to work for them. For rather, they bring in their own security to work for them. For today, ArcelorMittal is hiring a security firm to work for them. So I want to know what plan is the Legislative Caucus are putting in place to get away of those hiring security firms.
I think of outsourcing security.
My name is Deiso Ramos.
That's what you're talking about.
On this topic of discussion, we get natural resource management. According to the MCC scorecard, the report, they say the government have failed in protecting our natural resources for 2 years now. What is the legislations or the necessity that government put into place to protect our resources? Thank you.
I think this should be the last person.
Thank you very much.
They said no.
My name is Student Prince W. Gagby.
He's not the
A
last.
student leader of the Grand Bassa University. Let me say thank you to PI and thank you to all of our speakers. To my question, I heard the speaker talk about the amendment of the MDA. And my question is, how can the House do an amendment that will impact the people without reaching to the people and know what the people want? Honorable Speaker, are you aware that the school, that the road, that lead to where the concession is still a model road? Are you aware, Honorable Speaker, that workers living in the concession are living in continual houses? Are you aware that for the past years, ArcelorMittal have been in specifically Grand Bassa, they are recruiting students from here to Nima, leaving the country under university, engineering college, dilapidated. Our commerce are doing engineering and plant sciences. And basically the area of ArcelorMittal is engineering and plant sciences. But go to our community college, no car for students doing mechanical engineering. Thank you. I say continuing. Go.
All right, he's getting applause from the students here.
Honorable Speaker,
because he's speaking for the
it is an
students.
affront to tell us that you amend the NDA when the NDA does not impact the people. So we want you to take this as an urge that the next time you amend another MDA, you must come to us as citizens and get us involved. This one is going to the Honorable Pro Tem. Honorable Pro Tem, we are in this house again, celebrating millions of dollars being placed in the budget. We have about 143 million, 149 million. The same thing we heard during the last government. In 2022,
we all have money placed in the budget for the Grand Bassa University preach. Today, the preach will be a gesture.
The Grand Bassa County University Bridge is an issue here. The students are cheering in support to the speaker.
All protest. We have a warrant for the $13 million for education, but we are aware that among many universities in the country, the Grand Bassa University received the least amount of budget, 900,000. Why? When the university in Lofa is receiving up to $2 million, Grand Bassa University receiving 900,000 is an affront to all our students of the Grand Bassa University. Our protest, with that huge money in the budget, there are 2 schools in the district I'm from, district number 1, Grand Bassa. Are you aware, Honorable Protest, that the school on Copa number 1 has left from senior high to junior high? There is no teacher quarter. Copa 1 school, Buckley.
No teacher, Copa number 1 school.
Honorable Protest,
from high school to junior high.
I heard you, my last point. I heard you spoke about $112 million for health. These few days, it was shameful and pathetic that I went to the government hospital and was told that every day a patient spend at the government hospital, you must pay $500. Where do ordinary people get such a money from? Where we can use money in the budget. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's continue. Let's continue.
All right. This place.
Good afternoon.
Hello. We're not done yet. Hello.
All right. This continues.
DJ, give me something. DJ.
And two more persons.
DJ.
2 more persons. But consultation
Hello.
to see how they can get things in place.
Hello.
This place is getting noisy now. But it's interesting that people are raising a concern.
Thank you.
All right, good afternoon. My name is Bonte Ujeli. I am the Secretary General for Grand Bassa Civil Society Council. Let me recognize the high table and say thank you for coming to us so we can have the opportunity to interact with you. My questions have been drawn in 2 areas. One is still in our natural resource preservation. As you may be aware, there was some time in Liberia that complete halt or moratorium were put on timber. Today, timber is still coming from District 2, District 1, and other places in Grand Bassa. I want to ask you, Madam Pro-Tem, and the rest of our legislative caucus members, what is your oversight in terms of looking at the timber industry? What are they bringing? How is our people benefiting? Because we know all the bridges the timber people can face that stick, and they keep holding it, damaging our roads. My next concern has to do with ocean. Of course, you know, Grand Bassa, Cape Mount, and other counties been threatened by sea erosion. Sometime we had a coastal defense project back then under Malanseli's administration, and we just saw Sakanale Kwasa work done, and that was it. So I would like to bring it back to your attention again as part of your oversight. What are you doing to save Grand Bassa, especially Buchanan City, Atlantic Streets, and the rest of the streets? Thank you very much.
All right. One more person, quickly.
So I'm student Desmond B. Dunn, student leader of the Bassa High School. Let me use this medium to applaud our leaders for their level of innovation and development. So basically, as student leaders, for me, I'm here to speak on behalf of my school. The Bassa High School is the county's premier school. And at this point, we students in Bassa High School, we face some challenges, which has to do with lot of voluntary teachers. And another thing is, the school, Basel High School, has spent 100 years in existence. And up to this time, the school has not been renovated. And that become a problem for us, not knowing anytime something can happen. Another thing is, the laboratory process at Basel High School, we have 3 science labs, but students don't have access to it because inadequate materials. And now, we notice that in this 21st century, youth are highly engaged into science. And being that we don't have access to those things, we become affected. And moreover, at Basel High School, we got a clinic there for students. But we observe that there is no medication, and that becomes a problem for especially the girls, children there. Our toilet or bathrooms, the bathroom there, they all need re-renovation. So on this note, I plead to you people to help us in the process when planning to remember us. Thank you.
I think this will be the last person for this batch to complete the 10.
The speaker and the pro tem heard all your questions and concerns. They will now try to address them. I want the hall to listen. I want people in the hall to be quiet. No discussion in discussion. Right? Are we there? Good.
It's time now for the speaker.
After this round of answers, we will have additional questions.
Okay.
They are here for you today. Are you there? Good.
So the speaker will answer. The pro tem will also answer questions that have been posed to them. But let's see who will take the lead in the answering of the questions.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, let's go to the pro tem.
Those questions, and that's what this town hall is about. You come here and advocate, and when we leave from here as your leaders, you expect us to act accordingly. The first question was about the tailings. I've said over and over that the tailing issue was not resolved because this tailing has a conflict. The last person who acquired the tailings is in court. Until that case is over, this county cannot do anything with the tailings. Because of that, the president, the executive took charge, and they put a committee together, and they're working with the Ministry of Lands and Mines. And when they resolve that matter, it will come back to take the right action for us to start to deal with the tailings. What we were doing before was not legal because some company held onto the tailings legally in court. And that is the issue. So it's beyond our control. The executive has to handle it legally and release the tailings and start the process all over through the Lands and Mines Ministry. Adnero Chemada Titi NJ. Ma bande sende buamwe. Adamade nyebesode Health Ministry and Minister Bill. Be akema volunteer health nyobe chechen. Ke Senator Mama Boto Kane oche a dear question to you about Titi MLB. Ke wa Titi MLB wa se payroll money. Wa se dero jiani. Ke de oni mbuamwe achen ka ana wuri ji mo be aka volunteer health worker be na ga payroll compare wa je na izini akebeke mu wuru be ake wero yi mo be Titi MLB dero je so ado te ma bo ate ma bo de yan bo mu ma ban. So ka na bo te akebeke mu wuru be de be ake pampo be ake iju ake da bo so de pa ke be che se yan wuri so ani be mu to te. Motorcyclists union, we cannot do individual motorcyclists in the county, but it's a very good concern. We'll look at the union in general, and when it comes to budget, it's under consideration. We'll start that kind of discussion, and we'll let them know the advocacy came from here. Somebody mentioned 2.5 million in the budget for Buchanan City, why the Capitol building has 6 million. I think the speaker will answer the 6 million. But the 2.5 million that we put in the budget was on public works. I advocated for that as the pro tem, and that money is for City Street. We are working every budget year to make sure we pave the streets in Buchanan. So AML will do the street going to Unyaun because the new hospital will be there. So this 2.5 million is to pave the road that is going to the community college and beyond. The concern about the community college bridge, that bridge was there for almost 10 years. 10 years with no work done. When President Boakai was here, I asked him to go and see the bridge. When he left that bridge, instruction was given, and the contractor received the money. If you go to the bridge now, you will see that the abutment is almost completed. On the 5th of this month, the contractor flew into China to test the bridge that they are bringing for GBU. Right after the testing, the bridge will be shipped. When the bridge is shipped, it will get here and be installed. The bridge that is going over there, they are not building it here. It's built abroad. So it's coming in containers. What they needed to do is that abutment or whatever it's called that they've done. So anybody who got concerned, go to the GBU bridge and see the work that is done there already, waiting for the bridge to come. There's a portion left. And I asked the contractor why they didn't cast the other portion. He told me they cannot cast it until the bridge comes in country because of the measurement, and they needed to use that bridge to get on the other side. So the government has made progress because they pay 100% for the bridge. They pay 100% for the work. We just have to be patient, and the wait time is not 10 years. It will be less than 1 year. So if we are patient for 10 years, let's be patient for maybe a few more months. And the road leading to AML, someone said, is dusty. From the Cali School, that road is already in the agreement that our road will be paved. It's in the commitment that was signed. The sea erosion, will take that under consideration. That's good advocacy for the county. We will discuss it in the Senate, and we'll take that under consideration. Basel High School, very good advocacy. We started a hearing last week about volunteer teachers. We see that we are putting money in the budget for volunteer teachers, and we don't see the kind of work that needs to be done to fast track it. So we ourselves have asked for all the list of all the volunteer teachers per school, per district, under the Ministry of Education, and that list is already in my possession. So we will do our oversight to see if those teachers are available in this county. That list will be given to all the radio stations here so they can list the teachers. The schools will put it up. If the volunteer teachers not here, Education Ministry will have to come say something. Pastor High School, that advocacy, we take it into consideration. We'll do everything to make sure that you are included in the next budget under the Ministry of Education. My own thing here. Yeah, at the speaker, you don't want to care. The speaker that be man.
Thank you, Madam Pro Tem. So let me answer the least question first. Somebody asked, I continue to say bill, and bills are not law. When you enter the legislature, they are considered bill. So when we pass it from the lower house, or not lower, but from the House of Representatives to the Senate, when the Senate concord, it's still a bill. Until the president affixes his signature for approval, then it becomes law. So that I will always say bill. When these bills come to us, they are not yet law. So we have to process it to transform it into law. So that's why I kept saying bill, but all what I mentioned, they are now law. They are no longer bills. Somebody talk about tax return. So for now, we levy taxes on sales. When you sell your goods, without subtracting the expenditure or the expenses, we levy tax on the sales. But the government is trying to migrate to something called value-added tax. For now, we still levy taxes on sales. If we go to value-added tax, it means that every level of the production will tax you. For example, if you're making bread, let me go to the cheapest thing I think all of us get idea of. If you're making bread or you're baking bread, when you make the flour in that stage, that first stage you make the flour, the value of that flour is being taxed. When you put it in a bread pan or in a bread pan to put it in the oven, we tax it. Before you get it prepared for sale, we tax it. So all those taxes that levied on the different levels and stages of production increases the tax volume. It's on that basis we now start giving tax returns. For now, what we're doing, we can't get tax return on the basis of only your gross sales because sometimes you do not actually or disclose in reality the actual sales. So we not know the actual sales until we start from production up to distribution. So very soon when we transform and migrate into value-added tax, we'll talk about tax return. Somebody talk about the amendment of the agreement. While we amended the agreement, and the agreement, there was no visitation or there was no consultation with the citizen. Remember, the third amendment of the ArcelorMittal law or concession started from the 54th legislature. In the 54th, ArcelorMittal brought the same third amendment. When they brought it, based on what we went through, we rejected it. Those of you who have followed the House's proceeding in the 54th legislature, when Boffa Chima was then the speaker, we rejected it because that particular concession amendment had nothing good for the Liberian people. Now ArcelorMittal has gone back, worked with the various counties. You got caucuses in those three counties. Those three affected counties, Nima, Bon, and Grand Bassa. Those caucuses can inform us on the level of improvement as it relates to the concession. We also do something called public hearing. We do public hearing. We call experts. We call ArcelorMittal. We call the Investment Commission. We call the Ministry of Finance. We call all those sectors related to that concession. It's on that basis we carry on public hearing. The county caucuses also give us information related to what they have seen in the new agreement. In the new agreement, like I said earlier, it creates more avenue for additional resources. When the president was explaining in her first note, she told you that the bonus was then 50 million rather. We have increased it based on the new amendment to 500 million. So imagine the improvement it has taken. You're talking about social and corporate development, all those things. Those three counties, we have the best of all because some of the people living continuums, people doing this, they are employing Liberians. Liberians are mainly dominants of the ArcelorMittal, only at the high profile where you cannot find those kind of experts in Liberia. They are there for a certain time. After certain years, they will train Liberians to take over those positions. So ArcelorMittal agreement this time around, it is the best we've seen so far. And it will help Liberian people to the greatest of all. It will also build schools, build roads, help community empowerment and other things in the three counties. Somebody also talk about why ArcelorMittal is recruiting local security firms. My people, to employ security men. You can't just go take John Brown from the street and say, my man can't be my security. We need to do background check. And to do background check is an expensive thing for the concession. So the concession prefer to go to a professional firm, which is also a local security firm. And all those that are working there, they are also Liberians. So it goes back to the concession, the security firm and say, my man, I want to hire you to give me security. But I'll be in that security firm. Now, not for but they cannot go start finding you because you say you want man, they get, you want be living in a bucket. They will just tell you, they got to check on your background. Suppose when you employ them, they will do worse. I'll give you an example. In my own community, there's a guy who's very strong. He's very strong. I can call him my yellow machine. I employ the man to be my security. You don't see security steal from the same place the money that I'm in. Anytime money to go, my battery will lost, my door food will lost, my door pay will lost, they will lost. Imagine who's on my security, who's going to protect the thing, he don't want to even steal it. On that basis, I see that Mr. Tony was to hire a professional security firm that is 100% Liberian owned. Another issue talking about the Capitol building renovation. I'll be honest with you. Before these people were charged for the destruction of the John Chamber, there has to be an estimate. And the estimate is done by the Ministry of Public Works. They have the professional or professional guys to do that estimate. The rate and value, the building of that John Chamber, including the furniture and the tools.
But as we speak
payment is before the executive. And when the concession come about, they give it to the executive had to finish with it before they give it to us. So we're still looking at the executive to present it to us, but it's before the executive and they are trying to look into it. Then the pro tem did not mention something. On the issue of education, in the budget, with the help of the pro tem, we were able to put $211,000 for the Grand Bassa University extension, agriculture extension in Wee District. So we're expecting GBU to have an annex in Wee District. The next thing is this road that LAC is using. You know this road was built in the 50s by Lamco, followed by Lebinco and Mentor Steel. But since the road was built, all the government that have come, they have not paid attention on this particular road. With the help of the pro tem, the government, the rescue government. In fact, we have named it, the President Legacy Road. So we expect, because the information was, the government is in discussion with the World Bank to have this road paved. And in recent time, the Public Works Minister and the government engaged, they had an engagement with the World Bank so that the road can be paved. So, since it's a president legacy, I know hopefully before the first term can expire, we have a quota on the road. Thank you.
Honorable Joe.
Okay, thank you very much. The pro tem has asked me to answer the question that has to do with the affected communities, the issue of the affected community. So basically, in 2017, when we came to power, when we were elected, the issue about the affected community had been in the NDA from Madam Sally regime, where the affected community will be receiving 20% of the fund from ArcelorMittal to the county. That is Grand Bassa County have been receiving 1 million, and out of that 1 million, 20% of it should go to a affected community, which is 200,000. When we came to power in 2017, we as leaders, our elected, we decided to meet with government and that of ArcelorMittal to push the issue about the benefit of the affected community, and there was an understanding, and the government agreed at the time with ArcelorMittal that the issue about the 20% affected community, yes, indeed, our people need to benefit that. And so there was, understanding, and there were guidelines crafted, and in that guideline, it was understood that ArcelorMittal will hold, the 20% and carry on development within the affected community. So we started the process 2020. In 2020, we have the first district sitting where our people from the affected community resoluted projects, and those projects started in 2020. But the most frustrating part about it, Honorable Pro Tem and that of the Speaker, is that those first projects our people resoluted in 2020, if I tell you that those projects are still ongoing, you will not believe it. And we as leaders, we have been engaging ArcelorMittal because they have the implementation power. Because in the guideline, it is said that our people go to the district sitting, they resolute the project. The project is sent to the county, let's say the PNC at the time, or the development arm of the county, and they put a bidding process. Contractors that will win those, those bids, their need be submitted to ArcelorMittal, and ArcelorMittal work with those contractors to carry on the contract, and ArcelorMittal pay them. But as I told you, more especially in my district, where we have almost about 9 projects, only 1 project we are dedicated and it happened in the year. So we have been engaging ArcelorMittal. Why is a delay? And they have been telling all contractors not on time, this and that. And one of the frustrating part about the whole thing that our people are mostly concerned about, in 2020, the money we took to resolution was 270,000. That 270,000 is what we resoluted to do the project. But from 2020 to 2025, when we called them to that meeting, the report they gave us, they told us that the project amount had exceeded from 270,000 to 1 million plus. And we said, no, how can you exceed from 270 to 1 million? Who gave you the authority? Because the people from the rest, from the district city are the one that got to give you the authority if there will be any change in the project or cost. Before you do that, they say they receive authority at the time from the superintendent that are the caucus chair. And so we call for audit, and we requested the GSC to do an audit. The GSC told us that they were overcapacitated, or they had a lot of job on hand. So they asked us to give them time. So we are still looking up to them, for the time for that audit to be done, so that we can know how they derive, from 270,000 to 1 million, where they have used all of the people money within our cover. Now, just recently we engaged with them, and because of that, Buchanan District has said that we will not go to district city until all our projects be completed and dedicated. So we met with Aslo Menta recently, I think 2 weeks ago, with the caucus, and they appealed to us that we must go to the district city, but they will make sure that those projects be completed. And so this district has scheduled a district sitting for the 20th of this month, where we'll be going for the district sitting. And in the new agreement of Aslo Menta, the amendment, thank God that the money has gone up, from 1 million to 1.5 million naira. So in our agreement, it is understood that the affected community now will be receiving 50% instead of 20%. So that means a Bassa will be getting 1.5 million naira. Affected community now will be receiving 750,000. So that's a good news for the affected community. So one thing we also do, or we did, to help, to help the affected community, because the question came, what is Aslo Menta doing for the affected community? Basically, we instituted the leadership, the affected community leadership, to work with Aslo Menta to advocate on behalf of those affected community that when you have a need or when you have any problem, that group will advocate on your behalf, call Aslo Menta attention, and to go into your community to solve that problem that we've been having, the issue of fraud in some of our community, all of mini projects and all of those things. But yet and still, this group is still finding it difficult for Aslo Menta, Aslo Menta to work with them. Aslo Menta is not just wanting to work with our people. So we as leaders, we are still on their back to take the group very serious. The affected community leadership is being instituted by the caucus to advocate on behalf of those affected communities, so that the needs of our people within the community can be addressed by Aslo Menta. Thank you very much. We look forward for many development.
Thank you, Honorable Joe. Thank you. So this is the government town hall, Kapa Kulunu in Pele. Come, let's talk it. In Bassa, Bejia Koche, and today, this is the legislative edition of the government town hall. So we are hearing from legislators, and you are asking your legislators the questions, and they are giving you the answers.
This
so
is
now we'll
Buchanan
go
Radio.
To Honorable Numini Batikwa.
This is Radio Buchanan. So welcome, and let's have a great
Hello. Okay, as you were told, my name is Numini T.H. Batikwa. I represent Great Group in the Liberian Senate.
I serve as chair on construction and investment. There was a question asked, how do we protect our natural resources? That question is a concern of all of us Liberians. Not only you, but even those of us that are on the Capitol Hill. And that is why the government is putting into place the appropriate laws that can control the exploitation of our natural resources. As one of the steps, just most recently, even this gun section, two of our colleagues, in light of that concern, put into place a law that all Class B mining licenses should only be granted to Liberians. That law was proposed by two of our colleagues, Honorable Senator Darrell Taylor and Simeon Taylor. And that law was passed by the Liberian Senate. So Class B license for the mining of our resources will only be in the possession of Liberians. That is one of the ways of controlling our natural resources. Our natural resources are supposed to be exploited by us, but because we don't have the capacity, that is why the government is forging partnership with investors. So when they come, we put into place law that can benefit us. Currently, Madam Pro Tem Nyobli Kanga Lawrence constituted a committee to review specifically our mining laws, because currently our benefits, what we get besides taxes, is only royalty, and that royalty is 3%. They say 3 to 10%, but we are asking for 3 or 3.5%. We feel that, she feels, the Senate feels that that benefit is very small for us. So the Senate is reviewing that law to see how we as Liberians that own the resources can benefit more. But for personally, you know that somebody asked why it formed our decision for Extra-Meter Act for agreement to be amended. If the agreement comes to an end and the government does not amend it, I think the Grand Bazaar people will say, let them pack their things and go. They will fight for the government. So the government has no obligation to again go back on the table. The only thing the government needs to do is to ensure that you get more benefit. And that is why you are not going to get a hospital. But you will get a hospital now. Grand Bazaar County will get a hospital. You are not going to get a vocational school like it is in Yekepa. But Grand Bazaar County now will get its own vocational school to train the young people of Grand Bazaar, so Extra-Meter cannot go anywhere to hire people to work with them. That's the benefit that you're supposed to get. The community development fund you were having was so small, it has been increased. So it is the benefit that you get. You, the people of Grand Bazaar, is the benefit Liberia gets. Our responsibility as a government to ensure that we get the appropriate benefit is to sit on the table with them, say we don't have the capacity to exploit them independently by ourselves. So we are protecting the resources. But you know that the senators are representing you. The senator and representative are representing you. That is why any of you that got extra idea beside what we have, you go to them and tell them, say, look, I am thinking this way. When you're facing the law, we want you to do it this way.
But definitely, we are protecting the resources of this country in the interest of the Liberian people. Count on us. Don't be assured that we are protecting them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, let me just announce that at the close of this session, we will have food for each and every one of us. So you can rest assured, at the close of this program, you will be entertained. Thank you. At this time, we will ask Senator Dillon. He was asked by the President Pro Tem to make some comments to some of the questions that were asked.
The Government Town Hall Initiative. The Government Town Hall Initiative.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Madam Pro Tem, distinguished colleagues, our citizens and residents of Grand Bassa County. Look, this town hall engagement is good, so that the people can have direct interaction with their leaders and ask their questions directly. When we get on radio, so that you don't see us, you have the opportunity to just call in or only listen. But this town hall engagement from county to county can also help to inform the leaders as the thinking of the people and the desire of the people. So there was a question that struck the chord that talked about job creation, especially for young people. All the things we're talking. But I brought them, Mr. Speaker, you heard one of the students in Kenya, he said, all the million what we can talk about in the budget, they can't feel it. And I want to say, all the things we're talking, all the concessions we're signing, I don't care how many persons in this country that let government, it will not put the people to job. It will be in vain. When the old man goes sell, nobody will buy. And then, Papa can't come home this time, or you will not be able to come home with a plastic bag for the children to run to him. And then, but you see, government, there are 3 branches. Each of the 3 branches get a role to play so that we can do it together for the country and the people. So what is the role of the legislature? When we pass concession agreement or we pass one agreement, say they come in to face a road in Grand Bassa County, the legislature can pass that law. When they bring in a road, who y'all can praise? And not the president and the executive, eh? When we pass concession agreement, any town hall meeting is about the role of the legislature, eh? So I want to talk about it small. When we pass concession agreement, when that concession working good, and they get people getting job, you praise the executive and the president, eh? When we facing the road, all over the country, we'll be praising the president and the executive. But when pop hole in the road, who you can deal with? And that lawmaker there, when the road good, and they praise for John Limit Pierre and the president there in the executive. But when the road bad, then I will the cause in it. Because our own role we're playing is not pronounced. And the way we're supposed to play our role so you can feel the impact, we need to step it up. So let me break it down small. When we pass in concession like ASLA meter, there are some things that can inform our decision for you. We say, okay, ASLA meter will create 5,000 jobs. Carpenters, plumbers, masons, electricians, and all that thing. So we finish passing the agreement, 5,000 jobs are going to be created, but then we have we from the government now, from the executive branch, we get work permit. to OSA, non-Liberian, to can be plumber, to can be electrician, to can be security. How you the Liberian people, young people will get job now? ACA, they call the thing work permit. When we, the government, through the labor ministry, when the legislature passed law, ratify concession agreement, believing that those agreements will create jobs for you, the people, then when we, the government, through the executive, gave work permit to non-Liberians who can't do the job, then you know that we're not doing nothing. Look at Aslam Meter in Grand Bazaar, for instance. Most of you who born here, when Lango was here, every 2 weeks, Lango Tepe, they can't tell you to shake. La. Then when more end, then they pay the people in Lango, then they can't shake more. You know how Thomas Street on Saturday evening when Lango Tepe, you can't even pass there. And you know, eh? But you know why you can't feel it when Aslam Meter Tepe in the time? Because most of the people that are working for Aslam Meter are not living here. Some of the BB people from Aslam Meter, they're not even Liberian. So they take their money, they can't buy home. Then you here, you're looking at the lawmaker then from the country, they pass no law to bring big company here. So all of us got to fight to make sure that when we bring company, the company must live by what we say in the law, and then we must make sure that the job that the company is out of build is given to Liberians living in the country. So what the Senate doing with the cooperation with the House, thanks to the Speaker and the House, the Senate led by Nyobli Kanga Lawrence, we auditing the work permit business. Let me count that small, man. Yeah.
The Government Town Hall Initiative. Kapakulo, come, let's talk it.
We raised the issue. The Senate Pro Tem, Nyobli Kanga Lawrence, and our colleague led by the Pro Tem, she graced the issue and blessed it. That we must have the GSC to audit the work permit business. Let me tell you what the law says. When we pass law, we pass law for how the traffic can flow. When the lawmaker then finish passing the law for how the traffic, the car then can go in the traffic, that the lawmaker then sort of go direct the traffic? Who's sort of direct the traffic? And not the police, But when you see traffic somewhere, and you can say what the lawmaker then doing, you can ask what the police doing. I won't break that thing down. But you see, for that policeman or the police people to clear that traffic correct, the lawmaker then got to be fire. The executive, most of the time, that torture. The lawmaker then together, that fire. And you know the thing they call fire on torture park? Everybody get a role. When we pass the budget, that thing they call budget, that paper. The budget, that big book, that money. The money we're expecting to collect, that one we can put in the paper, so when we collect it, this is what we're supposed to do with it. So I want a roll that will put all that paper together and say when we collect 10 cents, send 5 cents to government hospital. When you collect 20 cents, send 5 cents to Bazaar High School on a paper. Then we get that paper to the executive, to the president. Then the minister there, the different ministry there, they go implement it. Now, if we put 10 cents in the budget, in our paper, say when you collect 20 cents, take 10 cents to Grand Bazaar Hospital. And we know that they collected 20 cents, but the 10 cents go to Bazaar Hospital, that the time the lawmaker then was going to be fire. Then we get on the Minister of Health back, because the minister now began the total. What we put fire there? Say, why you collect, they give you $20 and you get 10 cents to Bazaar Hospital in keeping with what we put on the book. But when they bring that 10 cents to the hospital, people go in there free. Then the public start pressing the executive. They say the lawmakers, they're not doing nothing. We got one on a role. You two got a role to play. What we doing with job business? Job business, that's serious thing. The speaker and the pro tem, that the two big government people here, but all in the room. And the only two of them can offer oil. And we get nothing. It make joke. It's not funny. We're forced to laugh. Because when I laugh, they will not offer oil again. When people not get job, their dignity can be reduced. So the government, we are being deliberate on how to create job for you. We made a law. They call it the Decent Work Act, the labor law. You know what we the lawmaker will put inside? We say any job in Liberia, any kind of job in Liberia, the first person will go to the Liberian who qualify. And no Liberian qualify anywhere in Liberia or outside Liberia before you get a job to foreigner. And you see, we finish playing our own part, eh? But we now the government, and I will not move myself because the whole government are unit. But we're looking at our branches, eh? So the executive branch through the labor ministry, look at Asla Meter, and gave non-Liberians work permit to come be carpenter, to come be electrician, to come be drivers, to be store boss in the store there. Liberians want to be store boss too. Liberians can drive. And Liberians can drive, eh? We get professional electricians. We get professional welders. We get professional accountants. We get professional doctors. We get professional managers. Liberians can do any kind of job professionally. But the law says in order for the company to get a job, or the company must advertise the job. Y'all can see some of the vacancies there.
The government town hall initiative.
The only way you will know that job vacancy somewhere unless they advertise it. Y'all know what we put in the law for y'all? We say the company that want driver or accountant or plumber or any vacancy to occupy, to fill it. The thing we put in the law for y'all, we said that company must advertise that vacancy in newspaper for 30 days. Now when the newspaper come, now everybody can see newspaper. We said they must put it on the radio. And you know what kind of radio we're talking about? We put it in the law, we say the radio station where the company is. So that means if I ask them meter, they must put it on the radio in Grand Bassa County. They must put a vacancy there. So you see, our problem with lack of job, that not because no law there. Our problem with lack of job too is because we are not implementing a law as a government for our people. And the reason is like that, because sometimes you can put a blame to the wrong place. And you say our road that will make law, You see that kind of law we made for you? That who's how to implement the law. And now the executive, Then when we call the people from the executive to come to us, say, why you not implementing the law? And now you can be the simple TD or us say, yeah, lead man. That's the same way you can do. You're in car, coming. The time is coming when Asla Meter take pay.